What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? What up? What up? What up? What up? Make sure y'all pull up. Pull up. Let me know where y'all are coming in from. I think I saw Dallas in the building. What's good? What's going on, y'all? What's going on? Shout out to Maryland. Somebody said, is it me or do I get the feeling that LeBron, Rich Paul, Nick Wright, and anyone with clutch have this obsession with dumping on MJ for clout and disruption? There could be some truth to that. Shout out to Tampa Bay in the building. Cincinnati in the building. What's good? Dallas was good. Gaithersburg, Maryland was good. DMV in the building. What's up? Toronto in the house. Was good. I think that's Connecticut in the building. Was good. California in the building. He said watching from Antarctica. Savannah, Georgia in the building. Was good. Detroit in the building. What up? Palm Beach, Florida. What up? What else we got? Birmingham, Alabama. What up? What up? What up? Pull up. Pull up. Let's get these likes up, baby. We about to get this roast going in a few seconds. Atlanta in the building. Shout out to the ATL. He said Lakers in 5. That's funny. Shout out to the Bronx, Newark, New Jersey. Yes, sir. New Orleans in the building. You already know. Shout out to Flatbush in the building. All right, man. So let me do this here. All right, so let's get into it. Let's get into it right now. Yo, Rich Paul and these guys, I think I figured out the success formula to these guys' platform. The success formula for their platform, shout out to Singapore in the building, Columbus, Ohio in the building, Chicago, is to essentially troll Michael Jordan fans. I've noticed that the most viral thing on Rich Paul and Max Kellerman's podcast is when they talk about Michael Jordan or something like that. That's when the most people tune in. And today, again, they're starting the nonsense. Matthew said, it's not disrespectful to say, besides scoring, Scottie led Jordan in rebounds, assists, steals, and blocks. Jordan was not a one-man show like LeBron James. All right, so let me get into the video here. So Mitch sends me over a post, right? And he sends me a post, and I'm going to show y'all the post before we play the video for y'all. So it says, this is the post he sent me. If you unplug Scottie off that team, Jordan is 0-6. Rich Paul on the Game Over podcast, right? So I immediately go look for the clip, and we're going to play the clip for y'all. We're going to play the sound. We're not going to show y'all the video, but we're going to play the sound. And I want y'all to take a listen to this dude right here, Rich Paul, with this nonsense. Before we even start, do you know how I know that this show was about to be some nonsense? Who do you see in the middle of it? 1 second. Who do you see in the middle of this thumbnail? That's Gilbert Arenas. The minute I saw Gilbert Arenas sitting in the middle of Rich Paul and Max Kellerman, I already knew what was up. Because anytime you put Gil on your show, especially when it comes to this GOAT debate, Gil is there to irritate people and say things that will get people upset. Basically, just rage bait people. So I already knew that. Let me read this up. Wow, appreciate the super chat. It says, Rich Paul has never done anything in his life, but just so happens to know someone very successful. We got to stop letting a clown in media. LeBron fans continue to be extremely low IQ. Only thing Rich Paul has done is bag Adele. Nah, that last line, I think that last line was the bar, bro. That last line was the bar. He said the only thing Rich Paul has done is bag Adele. I think that last line, that last line was the bar, man. So let me play what this dude had to say. I want y'all to listen to this. We're not going to show y'all the video, but I'm going to play the sound for y'all.
They're just not, right? Scottie Pippen rings, those 6, they're not the same as Michael Jordan's. Right.
They're not the same as LeBron James.
But they're pretty good.
But they're good. They're good. If there's some sidekick rings, if there's some sidekick rings,
I think Scotty's rings are just the same as Michael Jordan's. Why not?
Because he won the best player on the team.
Yeah, but he was the most impactful player on the team.
I get it.
What do you mean?
I get it.
If you unplug Scottie Pippen off that team,
sure.
Jordan's 0 for 6.
Sure, could be. Who knows? But if you replace Scottie Pippen with another All-Star, no one does it without another All-Star. Replace him with another All-Star. He's going to win more than one.
You can replace him with another All-Star, but just because it's an All-Star, don't mean it's Scottie Pippen.
No question. I'm not saying 6. I'm saying, but you're going to win some.
How many All-Stars are going to be willing to take a back seat, knowing
100% of every All-Star who ever lived?
That's not true.
If you're playing with Jordan, you got no choice.
No, that's not true because, again, this is where you got to really dive into the type of player. You're talking about just All-Star, okay? Remove that, All-Star. But you're talking about a guy that's 6'9", that plays both sides of the ball, that is 6'7", whatever. He got a 7'3" wingspan, right? He can initiate the offense. The best, you had 3 guys on that team, Jordan, Pippen, Rodman, that were on the all-defensive team.
Yeah.
3.
Yeah. Ron Harper should have been on it too.
Ron Harper was and that was after Harp had the knee issue.
I don't care what anyone says. Dennis Rodman, greatest defender I've ever seen. Yeah.
No one's arguing with
including
you with that.
Pippen. Yeah.
No. Well, again, so you had 2 guys who you can argue that was the greatest defensive player you've ever seen.
No question.
I'm not discrediting anything. All I'm saying is I also don't agree with you guys kind of saying what Steph rings isn't, because
let me read this comment here before so I can calm down. You can't give credence to an idiot who has used words such as misconstrued, goodest, and optionality. Appreciate the comment, man. Let's get into this for a minute. These people have a problem. They have a serious obsession with this damn GOAT debate. And yo, Mace, I don't know if you're watching this. I know you told me to fall back. Y'all saw the video when Mace was like, people like ESPN and Dreamers Pro need to fall back with this GOAT debate. I know you told me to fall back. But dog, how am I not supposed to say something when you got dudes like this who constantly bring this up? We be here minding our business. No one is making Michael Jordan versus LeBron GOAT debate videos. We been did that. We been answered that. And these guys out of nowhere keep pushing this conversation. I'll play the video for you again in a minute. The audio, whatever. Rich Paul is saying that Scottie Pippen is more impactful to the Chicago Bulls championship run than Michael Jordan. What's next? Pau Gasol was more impactful to Kobe Bryant winning those 2 championships in a row than Kobe? Let me guess. Derek Fisher was more impactful, or Rick Fox was more impactful to Shaq and Kobe than was more impactful than Shaq and Kobe in that 3P. What's next, bro? What's next? What exactly is next? These guys are going out of their way to try to promote their guy, but they can't do it without diminishing other people. They can't just come up with a great argument for why he feels LeBron James is the greatest player of all time. He can't just do that. That's not enough. Why don't you use LeBron's career accomplishments and make your argument and say, this is why I think he's the GOAT. This is why I think he's the GOAT. Blah, 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 blah. Why does it always involve diminishing one player or your teammates or LeBron's teammates to uplift him. I'm proud to be a historian of the game so I can give a good laugh at phonies like Rich Paul. I wrote a message. I don't know if this dude's seen it. I'm not going to read it, but I'm going to show it to y'all. Let me show y'all the message I sent to Rashard McCants because I think he posted something on look at what I sent to Rashard McCants. Then he wrote, yeah, means Bron is 0-10 with no AD, no Kyrie, no Wade, no Ray Allen. Then Rashard posted on, I think it was his Twitter or whatever it was. Look what Rashard McCants posted. Because it was this that I saw that made me respond to him in Yahoo Sports. So look at it right here. He said, in that case, 0-10 in the finals is crazy. 0 rings and a bunch of stats. Let's play this game. It's fun. Rich Paul had an interesting take on Jordan versus. He said, I think Scotty's rings are just the same as Michael Jordan's. He was the most impactful player on the team. And if you unplug Scotty off that team, Jordan is 0-6. Another viewer said, how many rings would Bron have without Wade? Exactly. Never knew Rich would take that route. Yes, he would. And what makes it worse is they now added Gilbert Arenas to the show. They now added, and I'm going to play the video for y'all again. They added Gilbert Arenas to the show. Is Gilbert Arenas great at making basketball shows? Yes. No one is taking that away from him. Did Gilbert Arenas play in the NBA? Yes. No one is taking that away from him. But Gil rage baits, and he knows that. He rage baits people. He says things to get people pissed off. This is a trait of his. Let me play the video for y'all again. Matter of fact, I want to see just a second. Excuse me. Let me see if I can flip the video. I'm not sure if I can. All right, so let me show it to y'all again.
They're just not, right? Scottie Pippen rings, those 6, they're not the same as Michael Jordan's. Right. They're not the same as LeBron James.
But they're pretty good.
But they're good. They're good. If there's some sidekick rings,
I think Scotty's rings are just the same as Michael Jordan's. Why not?
Because he won the best player on the team.
Yeah, but he was the most impactful player on the team.
I get it.
What do you mean?
Listen, I get it.
If you unplug Scottie Pippen off that team,
sure.
Jordan's 0-6.
Sure,
could be.
Who knows? But if you replace Scottie Pippen with another All-Star. No one does it without another All-Star. He's going to win more than one.
You can replace him with another All-Star, but just because it's an All-Star don't mean it's Scottie Pippen.
No question. I'm not saying
right.
6. I'm saying, but you're going to win some.
How many All-Stars are going to be willing to take a back seat knowing
100% of every All-Star who ever lived?
That's not true.
If you're playing with Jordan, you got no choice.
No, that's not true because, again, this is where you got to really dive into the type of player. You're talking about just All-Star, okay? Remove that, All-Star. But you're talking about a guy that's 6'9", that plays both sides of the ball, that is 6'7", whatever. He got a 7'3" wingspan, right? He can initiate the offense. The best, you had 3 guys on that team, Jordan, Pippen, Rodman, that were on the all defensive team.
Yeah.
3.
Yeah. Ron Harper should have been on it too.
Ron Harper, and that was after Harp had the knee issue.
I don't care what anyone says. Dennis Rodman, greatest defender I've ever seen. Yeah.
No one's arguing with
including
you.
Pippen.
Yeah. No. Well, again, so you had 2 guys who you can argue that was the greatest defensive player you've ever seen.
No question.
I'm not discrediting anything. All I'm saying is I also don't agree with you
Okay.
guys.
So I want to get something straight here because there's a few things going on here. Rich Paul must sincerely feel that he is. I think Rich Paul sees himself as like maybe Gandalf the Grey from Lord of the Rings, or maybe like Morpheus from the Matrix, or some kind of like Oracle or something. I think Rich Paul sees himself like one of those damn forerunners from Halo, the video game. I think when this dude talks, he thinks he's speaking from like a divine place. Because that's the only explanation I have for this. And I'm being sincere, and I'm getting to a point. If Lapidi got a rookie Pippen averaging 7.9 points per game, he would have got his ass traded before the season ended. Exactly. Seriously. Did we all not watch The Last Dance together? Did The Last Dance not chronicle Michael Jordan and his teammates' careers during that Chicago Bulls dynasty? Let me show y'all something. Maybe Rich Paul is unaware of this. Let me show y'all something, because this dude clearly doesn't know. We did a video about it, but I want to write it. Scottie Pippen says he cost Michael Jordan championship. Champion. 1 second. Because I did a video on this. Let me see. Let me see here. There was a video I did. Oh my God. Let me see if I can find the video. I can't find it here, but there was a video of Scottie Pippen saying that, we did a video on it, where he said that he hurt Michael Jordan from winning championships. Let me see. I can't find it. Oh my God. I can't. Let me see. Is this the post here? I can't find the post here. Okay, let me see. I was available in our first year, Bulls. Okay, I can't find the post here. I can't find it. But there was a video we did about it. But we saw The Last Dance together. I'm confused. In the 1998 NBA Finals versus the Utah Jazz, wasn't Scottie Pippen injured throughout that series? Wasn't he injured? Wasn't that the series where Scottie Pippen, I don't know, I think it was game 6, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. Where Scottie Pippen couldn't even play. He had a bad back. Who remembers this? Put a 1 in the chat. And I remember Michael Jordan, I think, scoring almost half of the team's points on the road. Not at home, on the road. And and Michael Jordan closed out an NBA Finals game with Scottie Pippen doing nothing except running up and down the court. Literally, that was it. But Rich Paul wants us to believe that Scottie was just as impactful as Michael Jordan during their championship run? Who are you fooling? Who exactly are you guys fooling with this? Who are y'all fooling with this? You're talking about Scottie Pippen in certain playoff series. Scottie Pippen that was averaging like 12 points per game. 12 points per game in certain playoff series with Michael Jordan on the floor. Here are the facts. If what Rich Paul is saying is true, then Scottie Pippen would be the standard. Why is he not? How can two players that are not of equal value, right? Because Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen are not of equal value. So why is it that we spend all the time comparing players to Michael Jordan, because he's the standard. Why don't we compare Scottie Pippen? If Scottie was as impactful as Michael Jordan, why don't we compare Scottie Pippen, and why don't we hold Scottie Pippen as the standard? Why is he not the standard? I'm confused. Let me read this comment here. I think I got a few comments here. Sub DP. As a Cavs fan, I like LeBron. Rich is an idiot. I would have to agree. Clutch Sports is a basketball version of MAGA. Somebody needs to tell Scrufficient and his lackeys in Gilly's speech, go home and be a family man. How desperate is Clutch Sports, man? This is crazy. So why aren't we calling Scottie Pippen to go? Because what Rich Paul is indirectly saying, he's saying the way we feel about Michael Jordan, a lot of it has to do with hype. It's not so much about substance. It's the marketing around MJ. Yes, Michael Jordan was a great player, but he wasn't as great as people think he was. So let me explain to you how. If you look at the Bulls' run, Scottie was just as impactful. Only an idiot will think that. Only an idiot would think that. You stated in the past that nobody's fighting for basketball. But DM individual regardless, smacking people in the mouth for the take back. Man, I was joking. I'm not saying somebody should actually go do it, man. Calm down. Come on, man, please. Don't turn into a freaking Karen on me, man. Come on. Like, come on. Like, what are you trying to turn into, a Karen? I'm joking. Like, come on. Like, be for real. I know what you're trying to do there, buddy, but like, knock it off. But you get the point that I'm making. Rich Paul is trying to make it seem like Michael Jordan wasn't all of that. And the part that kills me is that he represents a client that has never won a championship without playing with like multiple all-stars. Multiple. Seriously. He's talking like as if LeBron was winning titles as the man and nobody else was there. LeBron's first ring, he had to go join D Wade in Miami and Chris Bosh. So if you feel this way about Jordan, how do you then make an argument for LeBron being the GOAT? Do you know why? The way Rich Paul would make an argument is by essentially saying that all of LeBron's all-star teammates have no value. They didn't really contribute to the level that people think. That's the reason why LeBron says, after I won that championship, that made me the GOAT. He wasn't referring to Kyrie Irving's shot and the role that Kyrie played. No. He was talking about himself. Let me read this comment here. Why Adele married Rich Paul? I have no idea. She can do better. She's going to get brainwashed by Clutch. Well, I don't know. That's something else. You know, that's something beyond basketball. We don't know I don't want to get into the man's relationship here. I don't want to get into that. Averages of all finals games played. Pippen 19, 8 and 6. Jordan 33, 6 and 6. So sick of these ninjas with the lies. He mad because LeBron's best moment was a block. Appreciate the comment, fam. Appreciate the comment. Let me play the video for y'all again in case y'all ain't see it, for the new people that just came into the live. Let me play for y'all again. Let me do this here.
Right. They're just not. Right. Scottie Pippen rings, those 6, they're not the same as Michael Jordan's. Right. They're not the same as LeBron James.
But they're pretty good.
But they're good. They're good. If there's some sidekick rings,
I think Scottie's rings are just the same as Michael Jordan's. Why not?
Because he won the best player on the team.
Yeah, but he was the most impactful player on the team.
I get it.
What do you mean?
Listen, I get it.
If you unplug Scottie Pippen off that team,
sure.
Jordan's 0 for 6.
Sure, but who knows? But if you replace Scottie Pippen with another all-star. No one does it without another all-star. Replace him with another all-star. He's going to win more than one.
You can replace him with another all-star, but just because he's an all-star don't mean it's Scottie Pippen.
No question. I'm not saying 6. I'm saying, but he's going to win some.
How many all-stars are going to be willing to take a back seat knowing
100% of every All-Star who ever lived.
that's not true.
If you're playing with Jordan, you got no choice.
No, that's not true because, again, this is where you got to really dive into the type of player. You're talking about just All-Star, okay? Remove that, All-Star. But you're talking about a guy that's 6'9", that plays both sides of the ball, that is 6'7", whatever. He got a 7'3" wingspan, right? He can initiate the offense. The best, you had 3 guys on that team, Jordan, Pippen, Rodman, that were on the all defensive team. 3.
Yeah. Ron Harper should have been on it too.
Ron Harper, and that was after Hart had the knee issue.
I want you to notice now how he's shifting the conversation to other people. Oh, you had this guy on the team, and you had that guy on the team, and let me just read this comment here. Just give me a second, guys. Let me read through. I think I missed. Just a second, guys. Jordan is still very much the NBA. Appreciate the comment, fam. This is from TP. He said, so if you unplug Wade, Bosh, Love, Kyrie, AD, Howard, Rondo, etc., Braun would be 0-10 instead of 4-6. Either way, with or without, he still got a losing record. Exactly. So why make this argument? It's so stupid. ESPN has a clique of fake analysts being paid by Clutch Sports. They always lie and gaslight, all ran by Clutch Sports. P.S. Kobe Bryant made Braun his BITC, you know what? Exactly. Rich has stated on his podcast that he will take Jordan over LeBron for the final shot. It is just as bad, no agenda. Did you state the same when Ron Harper stated Scottie Pippen was better than LeBron? I didn't even hear that. And I don't agree that that Scottie Pippen is a better basketball player than LeBron James. I don't agree with that. I never heard that at all. That's crazy talk. Nobody here is saying Scottie Pippen is better than LeBron. Nobody is saying that. So Eli Manning is the GOAT at QB. It came out recently on a podcast with Kenny Smith. I was jealous of Pippen. He was saying he could be he could be in this position with MJ and win. Very relevant. I didn't see that. No, yes, Scottie Pippen is a better defender than LeBron, but he's not a better basketball player than LeBron. Anyway, I don't want to talk about LeBron James or defend LeBron James. I want to get back to the point what this guy is making here. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Let me tell y'all what has happened to this conversation. I'm going to explain it to y'all because I analyze this thing a lot. LeBron fans are the most desperate fan base in all of sports. It's not close. They are the most desperate fan base in all of sports. LeBron James fans refuse, including LeBron himself and his agent and his friends and the media pundit, they refuse to let go of this GOAT debate. They refuse. They're the ones that are constantly promoting it. It's not anybody else but them. So let me tell y'all what happened. Over time, LeBron fans began to realize after 2020 that LeBron would never be accepted as the greatest player of all time. So what they did was they said, we cannot argue LeBron in a head-to-head matchup with Michael Jordan. They know they can't do it. They know that because they have no leg to stand on. There's no accolades conversation. There's no eye test conversation. There's nothing that they have. Nothing. So then they said, okay, we can't do that. And even LeBron himself realized this. He said, I'm not going to be able to convince anybody outside of my fan base that I'm better than Jordan. So LeBron said, you know what? If I can't beat Jordan prime for prime, let me see if I can beat him by longevity. So basically playing for a longer time and accumulating stats that don't translate into winning. Just a bunch of empty calories. The year he passed Kareem, the Lakers didn't even make the play-in. I want you guys to think about that. The year, which I think was the year they had Russell Westbrook, if I'm not mistaken, the year he passed Kareem was the year the Lakers missed the play-in. That right there should show you the utility of those points. They added up to nothing. They didn't translate to winning games, winning playoff series, nothing. So they then shifted. They now tried to get into this GOAT longevity debate, right? Let's make it about longevity. But they knew people weren't really buying that as much. So then they moved to the next thing. Do you know what they moved to? The next thing was, since we can't attack MJ, let's attack his era. Let's do that. And I want to drop the anchor here for a second, and let's just talk about that. For the people that feel like the 90s was trash and you're part of that crew, I want you guys to pull up a seat because we about to grill y'all asses right now. Let's talk about this for a second. You're saying that the 90s was trash, correct? The Brandon Jennings of the world and whoever else says that. I want to get this straight. Are you telling me we are not witnessing the most illiterate basketball era of all time? Are we not watching today the dumbest version of NBA players in the history of the game? Are we not watching the dumbest basketball that has ever been played right now? Where you see guys that don't understand how to run fast breaks. We're watching offenses that is predicated on drive and kick, where at the end of a shot clock, a guy that has no business shooting a three is shooting a three-pointer. You have guys getting to the basket, getting to the paint, instead of scoring a higher percentage two-point shot or drawing a foul, you have these guys kicking it back out for a longer distance shot that may be worth more but has a lower percentage of going in. Do we not watch boneheaded play after boneheaded play every single night? Every single night we're watching the dumbest basketball being played on a night in and night out basis. Even Gilbert Arenas, who fooled y'all to make y'all hype up this era, Gil even told on himself on the show. He was like, man, these guys are playing a lot of dumb basketball. Derp. You think? You have 7-foot guys camping out at the three-point line. So if you're 7 feet and I'm 6'5", and we're both standing at the three-point line, can you explain to me, how is your height advantage being utilized? We all might as well be the same height. All of us might as well be 6'5", because if you're 7 feet and you can't even take advantage of your size advantage, why are you in the game? I don't need a 7-footer in the game that doesn't know how to impact the game with his size. We witnessed the dumbest basketball on a night in, night out basis where players are allowed to travel and carry. So you're telling me that this watered down cupcake era where dudes paint their fingernails, this era is better than the 90s? Are you even insane? Here's the fact of the matter, and no one wants to agree. Deep down inside, LeBron, his crew, and his fans know Jordan. Of course they know he's the GOAT. That's why they're always arguing against him. So are you telling me this? That we are not witnessing a regression in society and humanity? In certain aspects, we're taking a step forward. And in certain aspects, we're taking a step back. Let's leave NBA for a second. Let's talk about hip-hop. Let's talk about a different thing altogether. Hip-hop today is trash. Most of these artists don't even know how to rap. Most of these artists sound the same. You cannot compare the modern rappers to the rappers that came in the 90s, the golden era, and the two. You can't compare them. You literally can't. Rap has gotten worse over time. You literally can't. And to prove to you that the era is trash, the three biggest names of this era, Kendrick, J. Cole, and Drake, what do they all have in common? They can all rap. So this era be losing their mind. Damn, did you hear that bar from Drake? Did you hear what Kendrick Lamar said? Damn, did you hear what J. Cole said? It's like, yo, dog, every time in the 90s and the 2000s, you turn on the radio, everybody could rap. You couldn't get a record deal if you couldn't rap. Even in the South. Even if you came from the South, you needed to know how to rap. Even if you came from the South. Whether it's Lil Wayne, T.I., Jeezy, Scarface, Outkast, whoever you want to name, you had to be able to rap. Now it's all about the beat and the mumbling. That's all it's about. You can't even compare. So there is such a thing as getting worse over time. And we're witnessing it in the league. So Brandon Jennings says the 90s is trash, right? I want to talk about the top players in the NBA that Brandon Jennings played when he came into the NBA in the 2000s. I think Brandon Jennings came around the 2010s, right? Let's look at the top players. Blake Griffin, LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, Kobe towards the tail end, Carmelo Anthony, maybe Amari, Dwight Howard, who else? Let's list some names. Dwight Howard, maybe Dirk, Paul Pierce. Who else? Did I say Russell Westbrook? Who else am I missing? Who are these guys? Right? Who are these guys? Darren Williams, Pau Gasol to a certain extent. Pau Gasol, right? I said Dirk already. Rajon Rondo, yeah. So each era has a group of like maybe 10 or 15 guys that are the best of that era. And then, or that decade, and the rest is just everybody, right? So you have the top 15, 20 players of that decade, and then that's it. I already said Carmelo. So in the time when Jordan was playing, you're telling me that they didn't have top of the shelf talent? Is that what you're telling me? Barkley was nobody. Gary Payton that was nothing. Sean Kemp, if y'all want high flyers, that was nothing. Jordan, Pippen, Rodman, that was nothing. Clyde, that was nothing. Reggie Miller, that was nothing. These are nobodies. Hakeem Olajuwon, that's nothing. That's a trash era. What are we talking about right now these days, guys? What exactly are we talking about? Brandon Jennings is so stupid. He don't even know AI came into the league in the 90s. That nigga don't even know that. He don't even know Shaq came into the league in the 90s. He doesn't even know that. He doesn't know Shaq, AI, Kobe. These guys got drafted in the 90s. He doesn't even know that. Carmelo and all. He don't even know that. Which means he knows nothing about basketball history. Brandon Jennings takes a dump on Tracy McGrady. Brandon Jennings wasn't even 1/10 of a player that Tracy McGrady was. Not even 1/10. Yeah, I know he never got out of the first round and all of that. Bro, when Tracy McGrady was playing with the Orlando Magic, I said KG. When he was playing with the Orlando, yes, Kevin Garnett. You don't even know that. When T-Mac was with the Orlando Magic, he was giving it to everybody, including Kobe Bryant. So you can't tell me you thought Kobe was a great player, but T-Mac was not. He don't even know that. He doesn't even know that. Jason Kidd, Steve Nash, exactly. That's who these bozos are calling a trash era. These dudes, that's who they're talking about. David Robinson, I totally forgot. I totally forgot. He doesn't know anything except his own era. And now we got Rich Paul basically saying that Michael Jordan, the Scottie Pippen, I'll play it for y'all one more time, was more impactful than Michael Jordan in winning rings. Let me play this for y'all.
Right. They're just not. Right. Scottie Pippen rings, those 6, they're not the same as Michael Jordan's. Right. They're not the same as LeBron James.
But they're pretty good.
But they're good. They're good. If there's some sidekick rings, if there's some sidekick rings,
I think Scotty's rings are just the same as Michael Jordan's. Why not?
Because he won the best player on the team.
Yeah, but he was the most impactful player on the team.
I get it.
What do you mean?
Listen, I get it.
If you unplug Scottie Pippen off that team,
sure.
Jordan's 0 for 6.
Sure, could be. Who knows? But if you replace Scottie Pippen with another All-Star. No one does it without another All-Star. Replace him with another All-Star. He's going to win more than one.
You can replace him with another All-Star, but just because it's an All-Star don't mean it's Scottie Pippen.
No question. I'm not saying 6. I'm saying, but he's going to win some.
How many All-Stars are going to be willing to take a back seat knowing
100% of every All-Star who ever lived?
That's not true.
If you're playing with Jordan, you got no choice.
So let me tell y'all why I think Rich Paul is saying this. This is just my hint, my hunch. I think a part of Rich Paul, I think he's projecting here. I think Rich Paul is projecting an insecurity that he has and is manifested into this Scottie Michael Jordan thing. Rich Paul hears all the people saying that, oh, you wouldn't be who you were if you were not LeBron's friend. You think Rich Paul doesn't hear that? You think Rich Paul doesn't hear that he would not be in a position that he was, or is in, excuse me, if it wasn't for the fact that he was LeBron James's friend? And Rich Paul has come out and said, I'm my own man. LeBron said he's his own man. Let me tell you something. He's projecting. This is somebody that is struggling with the reality that there are certain people in life that if they come into your life, they can change your life more than you can change theirs. Here's the bloody reality. LeBron James was going to be LeBron freaking James, regardless of who his agent was. There's only one LeBron James. There are many sports agents. Those are the facts. Now, you can try to convince yourself of whatever the hell you want to. But the sooner he gets to terms with that, the sooner he'll stop saying stuff like this. Scottie Pippen was a great player. The only reason we care about Scottie Pippen today is because of Michael Jordan. And those are the facts. Appreciate you for dropping the 96 draft class. Kobe, Iverson, Nash, Antoine Walker, Ray Allen, Marcus Camby, Stephon Marbury. He said is what? You said is what? That's disrespectful as what? Disrespectful to who? To Rich Paul or LeBron James? They overrated Scottie for the sake of bringing Michael Jordan down to LeBron's level. These are the facts. LeBron is a once-in-a-lifetime player. How many NBA players are billionaires? How many? How many? Name, how many? Last time I checked, 2. 2. And you got fortunate enough to be friends with one of them. With one of them. I want you guys to think about this. There have been thousands of NBA players, thousands of agents, or hundreds of agents. There's only been one billionaire NBA player, and that guy happened to be your friend. And you want to convince yourself that didn't have a role, then you're not a serious person. Because saying that Scottie had as much of an impact on Jordan's success. What's next? You had as much of an impact on LeBron's success as he did on you? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I think there's some serious projection is going on here. Serious projection. Being LeBron's friend is life-changing. Do you know how I know? Because Rich Paul isn't the only example. Look at all of his friends. Look at the rest of his friends. They're all successful. Maverick Carter, I can't remember the other one's names, but I'm sure they're all millionaires. You think that's because of what? Yeah, you could be smart. You could be hardworking, but if you don't have the opportunity and you don't get lucky, it ain't happening. You think most of the people out there that don't have money is because they don't work hard? Some people just don't have luck or they didn't meet the right people. Who are we kidding here? Who are we kidding? So Scottie got lucky to play with Michael Jordan. And it's a fact. It's a fact. This is a fact. Scottie was not on the level of Michael Jordan, never has been. People talk about Scottie Pippen as this, Scottie Pippen is that. Scottie Pippen's best years was like Michael Jordan with the Wizards. If you just look at it from a statistical standpoint. From a statistical standpoint, it's like Jordan's Wizards years. The highest scoring I think Scottie ever had was 22 points per game. 22 points per game. And then if Scottie had as much or a greater impact on winning, Rich, I have a question for you. Are you also saying that Michael Jordan's leadership should not be taken into account? So who was the leader of the Chicago Bulls? Maybe I need to say it again. Who was the leader of the Chicago Bulls? Was it not Michael Jordan? So Scottie's leadership was greater than Jordan's too, right? Because you're saying he had the most impact. What the fuck are we talking about? We all saw The Last Dance. We all saw who was driving that machine. We all saw it. We all saw it. If Scottie never played with Michael Jordan, he would have probably developed into an all-star that nobody talks about today. Nobody. And you can replace Scottie Pippen with a great all-star and Jordan will win titles. If you replace Michael Jordan, okay, fine. Replace Michael Jordan with somebody else, and that person is going to win 6 titles in 8 years. Who's the player? Who's the player? Uncle Ruck is back at it again, I see. What are you going to talk about when LeBron retires? Your channel is cooked when he hangs it up. Who? You remove Michael Jordan off of the Bulls. Who are you plugging in to play with Scottie Pippen that's winning 6 titles? Who? List them in the comments. Write the players' names in the comments. Please, write them in the comments. Who? You said Grant Hill? Who? If Stacey Augmon trained or Jordan under Jordan, he'd be at least the same as Pippen. Appreciate the comment. Who? Even Kobe Bryant, my favorite player of all time, is not winning 6 rings with Scottie Pippen. No. Kobe Bryant is my favorite player of all time. He's not winning 6 rings with Scottie Pippen. He's not. Do you know why? Because for as much as I love Kobe, Michael Jordan is a better basketball player than Kobe Bryant. That is the Kobe may get three or 4, and he's certainly not getting 2 3-peats. Certainly. Do you know what it is to three-peat 2 times in the same decade? Do you know what it is to three-peat 2 times in the same decade? Do you know what it is? Do you understand what if a team did that today? We would all lose our minds. We would all lose it. It would be like the Thunder winning 3 in a row, missing 2 years, and winning another 3 in a row. Come on, man. We got to, at a certain point, Rich Paul got to knock it off, man. You got to knock it off, dog. You got to knock it off. You got to knock it off. You got to knock it off, bro. Y'all are looking like all-time haters. You like in the Hall of Fame with LeBron and Nick Wright and these dudes. Y'all like in the starting 5 of the greatest haters to ever live, bro. For real. Y'all ain't got nothing else to talk about on that podcast. And then you brought in Gilbert Arenas. Oh, you already know what that show is going to be about. The minute I saw Gil over there, you already know. Shout out to Gil, whatever it is. But the minute I seen Gilbert Arenas over there, I already knew this is not to be taken seriously no more. All this is about to be is just a bunch of rage baiting and a bunch of nonsense. The minute I saw Gil over there, I knew it was a wrap. How about anyway? Yeah, I'm pretty much done with this dude, man. But these guys got to stop hating, man. Y'all got too much money to be spending all this time thinking about Michael Jordan, bro. I don't understand it. Y'all are millionaires. Why is Michael Jordan on your mind? Michael Jordan is not thinking about you guys at all. Michael Jordan doesn't spend any of his time to. Michael Jordan already told you this GOAT debate is just for marketing. It's not even real. Man, you tripping. You put Kobe on that team in the same time period, he getting the same ring. Stop it. Kobe Bryant, my favorite player of all time, but I disagree. Rich Paul can take Buck Nasty from Chappelle's show, player hating title. LeBron needed some years off to stop losing. Appreciate the comments, man. Appreciate the super chats. So yeah, man. Appreciate you guys for pulling up, man. I'm pretty much done talking about this dude. I'm gonna let y'all go. We got some content dropping soon. Dreamers for off topic, but I have a theory about SGA flopping foul bait, and obviously his favorite player is Allen Iverson. I think he was inspired by Iverson's fearlessness to drive and draw fouls. Appreciate that. The only difference with Allen Iverson is when Allen Iverson fell down is because they actually hit him. Allen Iverson fell down because they hit him. Allen Iverson used to take a beating. SGA in some cases don't even touch him and he's on the floor. So that's the different thing. That's a different thing. Anyway, guys, appreciate you guys for being a part of the live, man. And you're missing super chat to read. I think I read all of them. I'm putting in Kelly Trupka. I think I read all of them. I don't know if I missed. Yeah, I think I got all of them. I think I did my best to get all of them. Anyway, guys, appreciate you guys for turning up, and we're going to catch y'all later, man. Y'all have a good one, man. I'm out.